is our 7th day, and today we are moving from Volcano, moving around the island to the town of Hilo. On our way today, we are actually making a detour because we have beautiful blue and sunshine skies out, and we are going to be checking out 2 different volcanoes. The first volcano we are checking out is Mauna Kea. This is a dormant shield volcano estimated to be 1,000,000 years old and having last erupted 4,500 years ago. It is the highest point in Hawaii, sitting 13,800 feet above sea level. There is a visitor center 6 miles up the road that sits at 9,200 feet elevation. Here, they have lots of information about the volcano, but also the astronomy that takes place here. Up on the summit, there are multiple world-class observatories with highly advanced telescopes from a variety of non-profit institutes from around the globe. Mauna Kea is a perfect place for astronomy because a significant amount of the volcano rises above the atmosphere, allowing astronomers to have a clearer access to the cosmos. If you have a 4-wheel drive or take a very expensive tour, you can actually go all the way up to the summit. Before you go up the road, they actually ask you to stop and get acclimated to the elevation at the visitor center before venturing up, and they do have rangers that verify your vehicle is 4-wheel drive and the brakes are working prior to letting you proceed. Unfortunately, rental cars and little Nissans can't proceed, so this is where our journey will end today, but there are some hikes you can do from the visitor center which offer fantastic views of the landscapes and the cinder cones and craters that sit around it. Our next volcano nearly across the street is Mauna Loa. If you watched our previous video of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, we actually took a 1-lane road up Mauna Loa to an overlook. Today, we are on a different side of that massive volcano. This volcano is still very much active and is actually the largest active volcano in the world. It is marginally smaller, sitting at 13,677 feet above sea level versus the 13,800 feet of Mauna Kea. There is an observatory at the top of this mountain too, but here they are more focused on weather and climate research than astronomy. There is this road that we are traveling on, which is so beautiful, going up through a large lava field, and again, is a 1-lane road. Mauna Loa last erupted in November 2022, lasting a little over 2 weeks, and then before that, 1984. We got out a time or two just to see all the lava, and this little drive is one of my favorites that we have done in Hawaii so far. Total unexpected surprise here. Wow, when did this happen? This lava here even took out the power lines. We are walking on the lava here, which is incredibly dumb. This lava is known as A'a lava, classifying it as rough, blocky, jagged, broken fragments, which are very unsteady and sharp. If you fall on this lava, you will absolutely cut yourself. But it was so impressive to see such an infinite wall of lava just completely bury this road. All this happened in the 2022 eruption, and it's impressive to see 3 years later, this road is still blocked. Largest store. This is our Airbnb. I thought it would be fun to book an old house. This is a room in the built in the 1800s, and it feels haunted. I'm not really loving this at all. Carla's not a fan, and we're stuck here for 3 days. Super creepy. We are now going to check out downtown Hilo. Hilo is the largest settlement on the Big Island, having about 48,000 residents. It is more humid on this side of the island, having much more green, rivers, waterfalls, and rainforests. They also have some of the most interesting trees on this side, and it seems a lot more homeless people. The town seemed active with lots of people enjoying beaches and parks, and even a food truck festival with live music.
One night was enough.
It is our 8th day already in Hawaii, and today we plan to take a leisurely drive up the coast to Waipio Valley. No schedule, just doing as we please. But first, we are starting at the Hilo Farmers Market. The mangoes we got in Kona were phenomenal, so we are hoping to grab some more of them. Hawaiians really love their farmers market, and this one had the best thing we've seen, with a small business making jewelry, bags, and more from recycled single use plastic, washed up fishing ropes, and more. Think of plastic wrapping that toilet paper comes in being turned into some new earrings for yourself. It was amazing to see the work that they've done to keep plastic out of the environment and to turn it into something else. I should have taken more pictures because it was so impressive, but I pulled these from the Upcycle Hawaii website, which you can go and check them out yourself. This is one thing that I love about this state is they are very dedicated to sustainability and protecting our environment. We are taking the Onomea Bay Scenic Route, which is only 4 miles long, but it is what most people think of when they think Hawaii. Here you have a very dense canopy full of interesting and blooming flowers, lots of green everywhere, cliffs, streams, and bridges. Very beautiful. During orchid season, you can see them blooming along the drive. We are stopping at the Onomea Bay Scenic Trail for a hike down to the water. Here at the top of the cliff, you can look down and spot sea turtles swimming in the ocean. Part of this hike takes you through the Hawaii Tropical Botanical Garden, which features over 2,000 species of flowers and plants from around the world. Today, it is incredibly hot and humid. Desire to spend a lot of time outside is rather low, but this hike sure is beautiful. Along our journey, we came across a feral pig. Kind of exciting for us, but they are actually a very big problem for the islands and are considered an invasive species. They destroy crops and water supplies, carry diseases that infect other wildlife, and breed very quickly. We are at Akaka State Park. Here it costs $5 per person. If you park inside, it's $10 if you park on the road. There's no charge. And here is the tallest free falling waterfall in Hawaii, cascading down 440 feet. They actually have two waterfalls here. The second one is 300 feet tall. You can see both of these waterfalls on a 0.4 mile loop trail that contains lots of steps but is paved the whole way. Our next stop today is a spur of the moment. Literally, we arrived and were told, yes, we can take you, but the bus is leaving now. Go. Special treat. The Waipio Valley is a sacred place known as the Valley of the Kings and is one of the most culturally and historically significant places in all of Hawaii. It is a valley with a beautiful, lush landscape featuring 2,000-foot cliffs, waterfalls, a black sand beach, and large taro fields. The valley is about 1 mile wide and 5 miles deep. It has been closed to visitors since 2022 due to unsafe conditions of the road to get into the valley. The only way to enter is by taking a paid tour. The road to get down into the valley is not for the faint. It is mostly a one-lane road carved into the cliffside. It averages a 25% grade, but at its steepest point, it is a 40% grade, making it the steepest road in the world, changing 800 feet in elevation in 0.6 miles. It still remains a place of significance to the Hawaiian people. At one time, the valley housed thousands of residents, but over time and impacts from tsunamis, many left. Less than 100 residents still remain and prefer the life in the valley. Here, most homes do not have electricity. Modern conveniences are not needed or wanted. The fact that they have one front-end loader is of great controversy. Here, they believe in the needs of the community over personal well-being, a practice that seems refreshing over such greed that exists in our society. I wanted to take this tour for the scenery. Waipio Valley is revered as one of the most beautiful places in all of Hawaii, but I left with an appreciation for the residents and their way of living. Today is our 9th and last day on the Big Island. Today we are actually leaving the town of Hilo, but before we do, we have a couple things that we're going to do here. There is a free zoo that we're going to go check out and Rainbow Falls, and then we are going to make our way north to the Kohala Valley for some beautiful views before heading back to Kona for our flight tomorrow going to Maui. The Pana'ewa Rainforest Zoo and Garden is the only zoo on the Big Island and is 12 acres featuring over 80 different animal species. It is free of charge but accepts donations. We spent maybe an hour here and enjoyed checking out this place as something different to do during our Big Island trip. Our next stop is Rainbow Falls. This is another free stop featuring a beautiful 80-foot tall waterfall and is basically right next to the parking lot. If you climb up to the top of the falls, you can see a huge banyan tree. Banyan trees are unique because they have aerial roots, which means the roots grow downwards from the branches. These trees are said to have spiritual significance and is another example of the amazing trees they have here in Hawaii. Our next stop is to the Kohala region, which is the northern tip of the Big Island. Driving here was really cool with such open, green, grassy fields and hilly terrain high above the water. There is a beautiful lookout at Pololu Valley over the cliffs and ocean below. You can hike the 0.6 miles, 500 feet elevation down to get to a black sand beach if you wish. If you saw the footage of the cliffs from the plane ride flying into the Big Island, both Waipio and Pololu Valley were part of that beautiful scenery. This lookout is probably my favorite view, but both were incredible. As luck would have it, on our last day on the Big Island, Kilauea erupted again, and we took the risk and drove 2 hours to come see it. You never know how long these things are going to last. It's now 6:30. It started erupting at 12:45. busier than it was the other time when we were here. Cars are parked so far away. I tell you, I am so excited to be back watching this volcano erupt a second time. This is episode 21, which lasted about 8 hours. It produced the incredibly large outgassing plume, had fountains over 500 feet high, and had an extensive lava flow on the crater floor. With this second eruption, we decided to walk the rim trail to the end to see different views and got to see that lava lake, which was so impressive. We witnessed the end of the eruption, which was also super cool. It basically just died out, kind of like when you shut the water off on a garden hose. And this was such a perfect ending to our Big Island adventure. 9 days of such incredible things to see, to do, and learn. And so now, tomorrow, we will fly over to Maui to check out Hawaii's other national park, Haleakala, some snorkeling, and Hawaii's famous Road to Hana. Stay tuned.